All right. Okay. Well, welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And John's going to do an opening song for us. Oh,
All right. Whoop. What?
I I was thinking I forgot something. Well, I forgot the candle, but we can't do the candle anyway. So
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, here we are with Loving Now. Loving yesterday, loving tomorrow, loving today, loving now, loving awareness, kindness and happiness, peace and goodness, loving now. Loving music, loving singing, loving harmony, loving now, loving awareness, kindness and happiness, peace and goodness, loving now. Loving forgiveness, loving gratefulness, loving creativity, loving as we go, loving wisdom, being kinder, living better, loving what is good. Loving nature, loving beauty, loving each other, loving now, loving awareness, kindness and happiness, peace and goodness, loving now, loving now.
thank you, John. Very much appreciate that. And I mentioned the candle, and even though we don't have the candle to light, I just want to remind us that you know, the light of God is within each and every one of us, and when we gather together, the light gets brighter, and it becomes even bigger. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and do.
365.
Yes, thank you. I can't even say the word for some reason today. Okay, let me go to 365. And today it's for love, and so love is the lodestone of life, the great the great and supreme reality. Life is the highest gift of heaven, the greatest good on earth, and the treasure of all our search. It is in the end and aim of everything. We cannot doubt that God is love, because love renews and reinvigorates, while hate kills. People who love animals and understand them are not afraid of them, for love transmits some subtle essence of life to everything it touches, awakening within all things all equal awareness and response. This is true also of human relationships. Love is the greatest healing power there is, and no one feels whole without it. But love is something that need not be confined to only a few persons. That love that we have for the few can be extended to more without losing the love of the few. And what a wonderful experience and realization it would be if we learned to love everyone as we love the few. Right now, our vision is hardly great enough to include this larger good, but when love becomes more complete, it will take in a larger territory and we will experience a greater degree of livingness. Today, my love goes out to all the people and to all things. There is no fear in this love, for perfect love casts out all fear. There is no doubt in this love, for faith penetrates all doubt and reveals a unity at the center of everything that embraces all things. This love flowing through me harmonizes everything in my experience, brings joy and gladness to everything. I realize that the love flowing through, in, and around me and all the things is one vast, all enveloping essence and force forever emanating from the living God. So that is let's go. That was 365, and thank you. And so it is. And so we're gonna Tim's gonna do our um, meditation music, and we'll go from there. So thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hand, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world.
And you are the heart and the hand, and you are a blessing to the world. And as we gather together, let's just take in a deep breath and just relax and just let go. Let's take in another deep breath and just release and relax, allowing the chair to support us. And one more great big deep breath in. And as we relax, let go of any tension that's in your body. For you are the heart. You are the hand. You are a blessing to the world. For God is everywhere present. Love, peace, joy, beauty, power, light, life, wisdom, wholeness, completeness, perfection, abundance, and prosperity. God is everywhere present, in us, as us, through us. Not only in us and as us and through us, around us. Because God created all there is, and we are a part of God. We are part of that creation. Therefore, God is within us and around us and in us as us, like the animals and the insects, the mountains and the trees, the beaches, the fishes, the grass, the flowers, the birds, everything that this world is, and the universe is all part of God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all spirit. So as I know for us that we are one with spirit, one with God, one with all that is. And I speak my word for Summit Center for Spiritual Living, for today's service, for John as being the speaker today, for John and Tim both doing the music today, Tim doing the special music and John doing some of the regular music. Thank you for Hannah doing the Facebook feed and for Kyle being here. I also know for Deb, who may be here, and I know for Carol Ann that anything that may be not our normal being, that it is being returned and restored and revitalized quickly, easily, and effortlessly, that the fever goes away, that whatever may be bothering her, that it is gone and it is replaced with wholeness, completeness, and perfection. And I also know for Michael, as he is out and about and visiting another service today, that he too is well. I just give thanks. I know for Hannah's mom that that she is being surrounded by love and light and wholeness and completeness and perfection, and that she too is getting better and better all the time and being restored to that perfect health that she really is. So with that, I just give thanks. I give thanks for all the good that there is, all the good that is ours, all the good that is mine. I just give thanks. And I just release my word into the law, knowing it is so. And so it is. Amen.
You are the heart, you are the hand, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. We're a blessing to the world.
Oh, thank you. And as you open your eyes, please open your cameras and just take a moment to look into each other's eyes and to notice and to feel the magnificence, that beautiful magnificence of spirit within. And just really take a moment to look at that. I really enjoy this part of the service. So thank you for doing that. Okay, and just a lovely meditation or lovely song for a meditation, Tim. Thank you. All right, I'm going to turn this over to John, who is our special speaker today. And thank you, John Miller.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Well, today is the Ides of March, which nobody celebrates. That was the day of the death of Julius Caesar by attack by his close associates, actually. But in a couple of days is St. Patrick's Day. So I thought, as a renewal of a earlier talk several years ago, I would share about the life of St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland. And much of this information is derived from the Encyclopedia Britannica, which I was fortunate enough to have gotten one when I was only like 4 or 5 years old, the junior version, and I think I read the whole thing. I read early, so I read a lot. But anyway, the contributor of this information is actually named Tarlac O'Reifirtai. Quite a Irish name there. Well, what we think of as Christianity has its narratives, writings, beliefs, doctrines, and rituals adopted, revised, and developed by Constantine's conclave and the Catholic Church. Most of this was carried over into Protestant Christianity as well. Spiritually devout participants in Christianity over the centuries were compelled to think and operate within the ecclesiastical system and the dogma of the church. Those of us in New Thought have what we think of as a more expansive comprehension of spiritual reality. Nonetheless, many of the saints, mystics, and inspirational leaders exhibited characteristics common among truly spiritual individuals found in all religious pursuits. These include devotion, intuition, expanded awareness, interdimensional perception, compassion, healing, miracles, and expression of love and kindness. St. Patrick is a good example. He lived in the 5th century in Britain and Ireland. He's the patron saint and national apostle of Ireland, credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland, and probably responsible in part for the Christianization of the Picts and the Anglo-Saxons. These were primordial tribes, I guess, from the British Isles there and in Ireland. And, not easy to convert, I would imagine, but St. Patrick's Day of celebration is March 17th. And he's known only for 2 short works, the Confessio, which is a spiritual autobiography, and his letter to Coroticus, a denunciation of British mistreatment of Irish Christians. Patrick was born in Britain of a Romanized family. Britain was colonized by Rome, and later the British Empire, along with the French, Spanish, and Dutch empires, were in essence carryovers of the Roman Empire and the Holy Roman Empire. But at age 16, Patrick was torn away by Irish raiders from his villa of his father, Calpurnius, a deacon and a minor local official, and he was carried into slavery in Ireland. He spent 6 bleak years as a herdsman, during which he turned with fervor to his faith. Upon dreaming that the ship in which he was to escape was ready, he fled his master and found passage to Britain. But there he came near to starvation and suffered a second brief captivity before he was reunited with his family. I guess many parts of the world being captured out of your community could lead to you being incarcerated as a slave. And unfortunately, there's still slavery in parts of the world, so we need to clear that up. But thereafter, he paid a short visit to the continent. Possibly there's indication he might have done that. But the best known passage in his work, the Confessio, tells of a dream after his return to Britain, in which a being called Victoricus delivered him a letter headed "The Voice of the Irish." As he read it, he seemed to hear a certain company of Irish beseeching him to walk once again among them. He was deeply moved. He said, "I could read no more." Nevertheless, because of the shortcomings of his education, he was reluctant for a long time to respond to the call. But on the eve of his re-embarkation to Ireland, he was beset by doubts of his fitness for that task. Once in the field, though, his hesitations vanished. Utterly confident in the Lord, he journeyed far and wide, baptizing and confirming with untiring zeal. In diplomatic fashion, he brought gifts to a kinglet here and a lawgiver there, but accepted none from any. On at least one occasion, he was cast into chains again. On another, he addressed with lyrical pathos a last farewell to his converts who had been slain or kidnapped by the soldiers of Caradocus. Rough times. Careful to deal fairly with the non-Christian Irish, he nevertheless lived in constant danger of martyrdom. The evocation of such incidents of what he called his laborious episcopate was his reply to a charge, to his great grief, endorsed by his ecclesiastical superiors back in Britain, that he had originally sought the office for the sake of office. In point of fact, he was a most humble-minded man, pouring forth a continuous stream of thanks to his Maker for having chosen him as the instrument where multitudes who had worshipped idols and unclean things had become now the people of God. The phenomenal success of Patrick's mission is not, however, the full measure of his personality. Since his writings have come to be better understood, it is increasingly recognized that despite their occasional incoherence, they mirror a truth and a simplicity of the rarest quality. Not since St. Augustine of Hippo had any religious diarist bared his inmost soul as Patrick did in his writings. D.A. Binchie, the most austerely critical of St. Patrick's scholars, put it this way: the moral and spiritual greatness of the man shines through every stumbling sentence of his rustic Latin. Hey, at least he could read. I'm sure there are a lot of people in those days that couldn't read at all, but it is not possible to say with any assurance when Patrick was born. There are a number of pointers to his missionary career having lain within the second half of the 5th century. In the Caradocus letter, the one where he requested that they cut back on attacking the Irish, he mentioned the Franks as still heathen, indicating that the letter must have been written between 451, the date generally accepted that the Franks' eruption into Gaul occurred, as far as the Somme River, and then 496, when the Franks were baptized in Mass. Patrick, who speaks of himself as having evangelized heathen Ireland, is not to be confused with Palladius, who was sent by Pope Celestine in 431 as the first bishop to the Irish believers in Christ. So Patrick was the missionary, and then the church sent over some probably a little more erudite clergy for being the bishop. But there are a lot of legends around St. Patrick. Before the end of the 7th century, Patrick had become a legendary figure, and the legends have continued to grow. One of these would have it that he drove all the snakes out of Ireland into the sea to their destruction. He actually wrote himself that he raised people from the dead, and a 12th century piece places this number of people at 33, some of whom are said to have been deceased for many years. He also reportedly prayed for the provision of food for hungry sailors traveling by land through a desolate area, and a herd of swine miraculously appeared that they could harvest, I guess, and have dinner. Another legend, probably the most popular, is of the shamrock, which has him explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, 3 persons in one God, to an unbeliever by showing him the 3-leaved plant with 1 stalk. Traditionally, Irishmen have worn shamrocks, the national flower of Ireland, in their lapels on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. So St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th because, according to legend, it marks the date of his death. His efforts led to the establishment of numerous monasteries, churches, and schools across Ireland. While the exact date of his death isn't known, by the time he died, perhaps 461, he had significantly influenced the religious landscape of the country. Initially, St. Patrick's Day was a religious feast day in Ireland, marked by church services, and feasts. However, Irish immigrants, particularly in the United States, transformed it into a more secular celebration. This shift includes parades, the wearing of green, and other festivities that highlighted Irish culture and heritage. The first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in Boston in 1737, then followed that by New York City in 1762. Eventually, these activities were added back in Ireland, serving also as a celebration of Irish culture. So we had a number of St. Patrick's Day parades yesterday. Well, what does Ernest Holmes say about a saint? He calls them a holy man, or a sage, one versed in spiritual truths. He also described a seer, one who sees into causes. Holmes's idea of religion was a human's idea of God or gods. But most importantly, Holmes had quite a bit to say about healing. He says that mental healing means mind healing, the possibility of healing physical diseases through the power of right thinking, which rests entirely on the theory that we are surrounded by an infinite mind which reacts to our thought. We have no objection to any form of healing, says Holmes. Anything that will help to overcome suffering must be good, whether it takes the form of a pill or a prayer. We do not oppose doctors or medical practitioners, but gratefully acknowledge the wonderful work that they have done and are doing. We hold no controversy with anyone on the subject of healing. We are glad when anyone is healed or helped by any method. We believe in any and all methods and know that each has its place in the whole. We know that man's life is a drama which takes place on three planes: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. We know that each needs to be taken into account. We believe in proper food, proper exercise, proper clothing, proper sanitation, and in everything that is real and sensible. We include all and exclude none. But while we do not hold arguments with anyone, neither will we allow anyone to hold controversies with us. We know that man's life in reality is spiritual and mental, and that until the thought is healed, no form of cure will be permanent. We will gladly cooperate with any and all, but we will not accept the judgment of any and all. We know that there is a law higher than the physical, and we seek to use it. We perhaps shall not always succeed, but we shall not become discouraged or confused over the issue, but will continue until we arrive. We hold no arguments over any form of theology. We believe in any and every church and in all forms of worship. Above all, we certainly believe in God, but we do not allow anyone to tell us how to worship God, nor compel us to worship in any way other than the way we choose. We reject the theory that the truth has been once and for all time given and that it cannot be added to nor taken from. We know this to be true about the truth, but we also know that no one so far has arrived at a complete understanding of the truth. We expect more light along the line, and we repudiate any belief that says all truth has been given. We know that the authority of man is in most cases an assumption and not a reality, and we refuse to be hypnotized into believing in any man-made mandate. So there's Holmes on healing and some other theological thoughts there. But if you look at the format of spiritual mind treatment and compare it to St. Patrick's life, you can see that he was really performing even under the auspices of the church, although he was pretty remote from the real bosses of the church over there in Ireland, because not too many of them were going over there where they might get captured and put in slavery or whatever. But he exhibited many of the aspects of spiritual mind treatment. He recognized the greatness of God, he unified with that and felt its power flowing through him, and he realized what he was about and did it with gratitude and released his results. So, in review, he was seemingly had an okay childhood until he was captured and abducted to Ireland. And he was devoutly prayerful while herding the sheep. He dreamed of his escape plan and made the difficult return home. He had intuitive inspiration to go back to Ireland. He prepared and eventually felt competent enough to do so. And he risked going back to where he had been enslaved, risked prison or martyrdom among these more savage people. But he was warm, friendly, and caring to all, and the Irish people appreciated that. He raised their spiritual awareness as well as his own. He was helpful to travelers, and he actually may have helped expel some reptiles from Ireland. So I think he meets the qualifications of a saint. He exhibited spiritual inspiration, intuition, compassion, healing, and even miracles, possibly. Being as much as half Irish myself from a father I never met, as a child, my mother made sure I wore something green and pinned an artificial shamrock, a little fuzzy one, on my shirt each St. Patrick's Day when I went to school. And then when I went to college, St. Patrick's Day was the biggest day of celebration and drinking at Ohio University, whose colors are green and white. We had 3.2% beer then, and all the bars colored their beer green, and even the freshmen were old enough to drink it. So think of St. Patrick on this day when you wear green and raise your glass of green beer, or more importantly, while ruminating on the divine, St. Patty and the other saints, raise your awareness to bless the world with love, kindness, and peace. And here is a representation of St. Patrick on a stained glass window in a cathedral in Oakland, California. Now, of course, there were no photographs back then, nor much painting done. So we can't really be sure that this has any similarity to what St. Patrick actually looked like, but they make him look like a religious figure in the Catholic Church for sure. Anyway, happy St. Patty's Day.
Okay, I'm talking and I'm nobody could hear me.
Speechless.
Yes. So thank you so much. That was wonderful.
I thought it would be a little fun.
Yeah, that was great. The how you showed him doing treatment in his own form.
Yeah.
But doing it in basically in our form. That was great. I think that was good. And then you explain the saint, what Holmes said about what saints are. That was great too. So anyway, so thank you. And I'm going to see if there is anybody else who has any comments.
Hey, look at the
right.
clover floating by.
All right.
Great.
Okay, and if there's not any more comments, I'm going to turn this over to Tim to do a song then.
I used to look for four-leaf clovers in the grass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I found them too.
You don't find too many four-leaf clovers, that's for sure. I think I found one time in my entire life. Of course, I haven't looked for any lately.
Well, if the three leaves of a clover represent the Trinity, what does the fourth leaf represent when you find one?
Well, actually, Carl Jung was very big on the Trinity becoming a quaternity.
Ah.
An example in the Catholic Church was the raising of Mary, what was called the Assumption, around 1950. The Church assumed Mary into the pantheon, so to speak. So the three became four.
Oh, okay. There's no need to change the direction of the wind. I'll just set my sails toward my destination. There's no need to wait for permission from anyone. I'll just be the source of my own inspiration. There's no need to wait for the rest of the world to awake, or for the current political tide to change. When I allow myself to be new in the now, I realize that nothing is prearranged. The bright future belongs to a certain time. Those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Let your hopes and not your hurt shape it for you. And have a clear vision of what it should be. There's no need to dramatize my history. Everyone's tired of hearing it anyway. When I allow myself to be new in the now, a whole new chapter can begin today.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Excuse me. Thank you.
That's an original too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yours. Yeah, beautiful.
Cough and all.
Cough and all. I understand. I was coughing in the middle of you singing, and I'm like, oh, I got to get muted real quick because I didn't realize I was.
I
Didn't wanna-
He's talking about me.
Yeah.
But
Well, I ended
anyway.
up coughing too, so that was so good. Okay. All right. Well, it is that time in our service where we have the opportunity to give. And with that, I got to get this back up here so I can put my hands out. Okay. All right. So there is several ways you can give. You can go through Zelle, and or you can go through PayPal, and you would do that by going to sscofakron@gmail.com, sscofakron@gmail.com, and you can give that way. Or you can send a check with the word Summit on it to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310. And with that, I just want you to symbolically take your hands right top over left, and to know with me that all that we have, all that we give, all that we received is blessed in a very gracious manner. and that it goes to the work of Summit Center for Spiritual Living and the truth that sets us free. And so it is. Amen. Okay. John, how about some good, more good?
Good, more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine, unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. More good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit and Soul. It is.
All right. That was wonderful. And it's time for announcements. And so next week I will be the speaker, and the following week will be Tim. He will be doing our on the fifth Sunday. He'll be our speaker. Michael is he would be having me tell you about New Thought Media Network. There's lots of shows, lots of things to see, lots of things to do that you can see there. But don't be afraid to stop in and to find, to go to New Thought Media Network and see what you can find out. John?
Yeswise.com, which is where I have my blogs, and particularly the one called Inspire, if you look for that. And it's also found at the Yeswise channel on YouTube. And then my music is johndavidmiller.com, if you like to check that out.
All right. And Tim, is there anything special for you, or you maybe want to give out your for people to know? Just tell us your the website they can go to for yours, Smith Music.
Yes. I'll put that in the chat.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So, because there's, we're very fortunate to have both of you gentlemen as our musicians, and I'm so grateful for both of you. So thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And all right. So let's see here. It is at time. Let's see, we've done that. I did this. It's time for our moment of silence. Am I right? Am I missing something else? So,
I think not.
okay, we're kind of early today. There it is, broadjam.com/Tim Mauro, MAURO is the
You can stream any of my music. Doesn't cost a penny. Or if you want to download it for your own files, it's just $1 per song. So
oh, that's not bad at all.
no.
Do you have to pay for that service yourself?
Actually, no.
No? I might look into that.
Yeah.
I use DistroKid, which you have to pay for, but I don't know. I don't think it gets anywhere.
Well, they're supposedly they do more promotion of your music, but
we'll see. I don't know.
Anyway, getting back.
Anyways, okay, so we'll do our moment of silence, and during that time, it just is time to bring into your hearts and minds people who may need some healing. I know for Carol Ann and Hannah's mom, and even Deb and John's friend Marcia, that all things are going well for each and every one for different reasons, but that everything is working out for their best and highest good. And just know with me, anybody else you may bring into the silence, that things are getting better right here, right now, and that it's already taken care of. And God has our back. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going to count down from. Uh, I'm going to count down, and John will ding his guitar, and we'll be silent, and then I'll count us back up. So 1, 2, 3. Three, 2, 1. Thank you. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Life is real. Life is true. We are love. Living is me and you. Joy is real. Joy is true. We are joy. Living is me and you. Peace is real. Peace is true. We are peace. Living is me and you. Love is real. Love is true. We are love. Living is me and you. Living is me and you.
All right. Thank you, John. And we appreciate that. I appreciate everybody for being here today. And again, next week I'm will be your speaker. Following week will be Tim. And and next week is Palm Sunday. And the week after that is not next week. Tim's week is Palm Sunday. Mine is before that. And then when we get into April, the first one will be Easter. So we'll go from there. So anyways, I just give thanks. And Hannah, you can end our Facebook feed now.